distinctly recall asking my parents back in 2006 for a new DS game like Mario Kart or Metroid Prime Hunters, but when my birthday finally rolled around, what I ended up getting was Big Brain Academy. It's like an overweight person ordering a cheeseburger and getting a salad instead. It's like someone who keeps offering you breath mints, or workout equipment, or joke t-shirts only the gift giver thought were funny, or any other unintended passive-aggressive subtle jabs at your self-esteem in gift form. You don't just gift somebody Big Brain Academy. The game's pretty good though. Oh yeah, totally, thanks Mom. This sounds like the absolute worst. An educational game entirely structured around touchscreen interaction? Ugh. But once you realize the main problem, among many, with IQ tests and the like is their inherent lack of any way to really test the actual speed of the brain's problem-solving response time. Instead, it's held back with reading or intellectual handicaps skewing the results. Unless, of course, you have a touchscreen. Okay, fair, but still, man, it's an educational game. I wanted to go race go-karts and shoot stuff. Dude, I could be gaming. Just think of it as an arcade game where the goal is to think as fast as possible, which compounds on the fact that your profile's top score will be openly displayed next to anybody else's sharing the game. Are you telling me that after calling my family idiots for years, I can finally prove it? Or eat your words. Bring it on, you morons! Hey, you're right, this game is actually pretty fun. See, I told you, you beat my score? I always said they were all snot-gobbling dimwits choking on their own drool, and now look who's undeniably proven to be the only possessor of any competent brain matter in this household! In Big Brain Academy, you'll create your profile primarily to compare test results from person to person because honestly the most fun part about this game is the competitive nature of telling your siblings they're stupid and being proven right. Ugh. So you choose between Test Mode, which is a series of minigames resulting in a high score, Practice Mode, which allows you to practice the said minigames, and Versus Mode, where 2 to 8 players can wirelessly race to solve puzzles the fastest. And yeah, that's basically it. You'll be spending most of your time in test, or hammering out the finer details of a tricky minigame in practice in order to give you the edge on the next test to raise your score. There are 5 categories of minigames with 3 puzzles for each. Think, which is logic-based, Memorize, which is obviously memory-based, Analyze, which is about reason and deduction, Compute, which is effectively math, and Identify, which is visual-based. But all of them are about time. The faster you solve the puzzle, the higher your score will be in the end. So this being a touch-based game actually helps this out a lot in terms of reaction time. Now, though I tend to hate games with timers giving me needless anxiety, but for an IQ test game, this is absolutely essential. The game is all about overcoming your self-conscious anxiety and simply focusing on solving problems in rapid succession, and fighting for the top score amongst your family. Because nothing's healthier in a familial setting than blatantly slapping labels on everyone, organizing them by literal brain mass. Yeah, you're scored with points that add up to give you a total brain mass in grams. This then gives you a letter grade and generates a suitable profession based on which category you excelled in the most. To keep up the pretense of this being a comically ineffective school standardized test, I presume. Here's my actual profile page from when I was 16. If you didn't think this game sounded very fun, then try beating my score for a challenge. Because if you're not setting personal goals for yourself, then you'll get bored faster than you can say algebra. Wait, but the average human brain only weighs about 1,300 grams. Yeah, so? You should be proud of your accomplishments. What's with your freakishly large 16-year-old brain being 25% bigger than the average adults? It ain't easy being top-heavy. This game knew you were autistic 13 years before you did, Jimmy Neutron. I have an IQ of 140, and yet I still play Pokemon. Of course there's something wrong with me! Though the DS's Brain Age sold better than Big Brain Academy, the one thing Brain Age sorely lacked was character and personality, which Academy simply oozes with. Instead of Brain Age's generally dry approach, Brain Academy is full of colorfully animated iconography and charming character designs that bring it to life. It's a perfectly welcoming atmosphere for players of all ages to casually step into without feeling intimidated. Sure, the minigames are all wonderfully iconographic, aiding the speedy solution-based gameplay, but what I really love are the awkwardly drawn finger puppet people. What? I mean, just look at this guy! Like, what's up with his neck? Maybe he's depressed or has a physical impairment. The professor's line work even jiggles like he's straight out of Ed, Edd n Eddy. And you have the higher score than me? This game looks silly and I like it. In every household everywhere, siblings bicker in their eternal argument of, "You're stupid, no you're stupid," until their parent mistakenly purchases the very means of settling that argument. And that is not what I meant by story. Oh, what? Yeah, now what? There is an equal amount of story in this game as there are ants in fruit salad. What? As you can see, there is no N required to spell ants inside of the fruit salad. That's the stupidest. There is, however, rust in the fruit salad. There is no story. Do I spy a fart in the fruit salad? Stop! Okay, so I wanted to point this out before with the graphics, but the wonderful sound effects and background music is what ties this whole game's personality together in a big happy bow. It's also got an awesome remix track in Super Smash Bros., so now you can crush your siblings' willpower after crushing their self-esteem, all under the same theme like a laugh track to their own despair. I didn't have a very happy childhood, does that show? Like a fart in a fruit salad. This is basically a game of mini-games for people who would play WarioWare were it not for all the farts and nose-picking. I only wish that this game could have somehow clued me in on my condition after maxing out the Pentagon scoreboard for the 100th time. Like, wow, you're really smart. I think you should see a doctor. A weird side effect of this game is in realizing that your parents really aren't that smart at all. I mean, come on, Dad! You barely have a score better than my little brother and sister! Actually, the side effect is your ego inflating to the factor of a hot air balloon. I'm really good at 15 minigames, therefore I'm intellectually superior than all of you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're playing it wrong. The positive gamer in me was surprised with how much I liked Big Brain Academy with a 6 out of 10. It was a lot of fun challenging others to beat their scores, all the while the game itself doing its magic and training you to think faster and more advanced ways for problem solving. However, it is unlikely that I'll be digging it out to play anytime soon. The critical gamer in me is impressed enough to give Big Brain Academy a solid 8 out of 10. Rating it based on what it set out to achieve, I think it did an excellent job of creating a series of brain-stimulating minigames in a fun, approachable way. And I'm very happy to see it alive and well with a release on the Nintendo Wii, and more recently in the upcoming installment on the Switch. Wow, Hamster, you're so relevant! Actually, it was a Patreon request. Well, what do you think? Tell us how your positive and critical sides rate Big Brain Academy in the comments below. But if you're only playing these games to assert your intellectual dominance over your family members, then you're totally doing it right! No! You're just playing with yourself. Special thanks to Arrow from Patreon for requesting this episode, and thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and use the links in the description to nominate your own episode. Thank you to our Patreon members Atomic Thomas, Cameron, Arrow, Rowan, Erica, Shyam, Minya, Sid, Squad Fam, and Crystal. See you.